Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to the show tonight. You regulars would have noticed that we've got the new intro happening. It's a little bit more in order, and it's also a little bit shorter as well. Taken a few things out, added a few things. Maybe I cut it a bit quick this time, but anyway, hope you like it, and there may be some future changes coming up. Big shout out to all the members of the channel. Thank them very much for supporting me and what I do here. And all of you guys who come into the chat every week and make it what it is and say hello and interact and talk. So what's been going on in the shed? Well, quite a bit actually. On and off. I've been doing a little bits and pieces here and there, improving things in the shed, making it easier. Mrs. Shed Talk has been working on my grandmother's sewing table, and that's turned out really well. I think I showed you that last week. Definitely seen, put some photos on social media or somewhere around. And over in the corner tonight, she put the undercoat on the cupboard, my nana's cupboard that she kept her sewing gear in. It's pretty warm here tonight, so it's sort of ideal conditions. And like I said, I've made some few improvements, and we might just flip over to the mobile camera, which I'll go to the talking head. Sorry. Right, so that's our view of the mobile camera. Our little project tonight is going to be this oil can, but a bit more on that later. Before we went live tonight, this is a new drawbar pin for the steamroller at the steam shed. Here's the old one. So that's the old one, and this is the new one. The new one's a lot longer. This is 4140. Original diameter was 55 millimeters. We've taken it down to 1 3/8, and I really made a mess on the lathe, and I have actually cleaned it up, but you can see that going from this diameter down to this diameter is certainly a lot of metal removing of metal. I'll get it right one day. So this bit here, now we've got that down, we're going to grip this in the chuck like this, and we're going to put a nice taper on that, get that down to size. It's got to come down to about 2 inch by about 1/4 inch, then machine a taper, a nice taper, and then it gets bent over so it can go behind the filler tank on the steamroller. So that's a work in progress, but I had the lathe cranking pretty hard. I was taking some 2mm cuts, 2mm depth of cuts. Excuse me, I'm just getting over some orange juice I had. And then I upped the ante and started taking 2.5mm cuts, and that made the old lathe, bite in pretty hard, and we got a nice finish too. So moving right along, we've got the pressure gauge now hooked up to the compressor. I think I showed this last week, but it's definitely hooked up. We're showing 100 PSI. It's dropped down a little bit. It pumps up to about 105, 110. But it's almost ideal to see at any angle from around the shed. It certainly makes a big difference. The other little addition I've done, I told you I put that air line in. So it's just a line that goes from the compressor up over the top. I'm probably moving a bit fast here. And going down here, and just tonight I had these magnets here. You can dig them out of old hard drives, and they're super good. Thanks, Kerry, for the new intro. It's a little bit different, and I've added one onto the bench here. As you can, we'll just get a better angle at that. There you go. It's magnetic, and I've got my little air line here and the air duster, so I can just come onto the lathe, and you might even see in the distance. Hang on, I'll put that there. Oh, hello, we got shed dogs. Hey, look at this. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? You've been You two have been playing, haven't you? You've been playing like crazy. Yes, you have. Yes. Hey? Yes. Is it playtime still, is it? Hey? Is it playtime still? We're going to get a nose bop? Hey, come on. We get a nose bop. Come on. We get a nose bop. Come on. Come on. Get... Oh, hey. No, I don't want to paw. Don't rip the camera out of me. Well, there you go, guys. The show's over. You know, the shed dogs have made their introduction. Yeah. So anyway, oh, hang on. Oh, that. Righto. This is not what I wanted. Righto. So when I hit the air duster, like so, you see the gauge move a bit. But like I said, it's just there to give me an indication of how much. Yes, Clinton, you did. It's just there to give me an indication when I'm maybe over the other side. If I'm working over on the steamroller on the boiler side of things, I can easily look over and see that, how much air we've got in the tank instead of those tiny little gauges on the air compressor that are currently out of sight now with the way I've got the compressor set up. So I've got the air gauge right here, nice and handy for pumping up tyres, switchboard and so on. I did show this the other week with the slings all set up. However, I got these racks from Bunnings. They're about $5.50 each. And we've got the D shackles and the bow shackles. Those two wouldn't quite fit on, so I've had to put a couple of extra screws on. And I've still got room up there to put other stuff on, hang other stuff up. And sandblaster and kneeling pad, and there's the gloves I was looking for before. And if Emma's in the chat, Emma, you forgot to pick up this and I forgot to give you to it, your telescopic gauge. Next time you're up, which may be this weekend or not, but those of you who are following Emma, you might want to follow Emma. She's doing more than likely going live tomorrow with a big event happening. You might want to tune in, probably from I'm not sure, it'll be fairly early if she does go live. I'm not sure, Peter, if you know what time Emma's going live. Righto, so let's talk about oil cans. This oil can's off the steamroller at the steam shed, and it does work. It does pump oil, but not quite effectively as it should. Oh, excuse me, that orange juice is coming back. And the reason why it's not pumping, well, yes, Kerry, it is and it isn't. But actually, just on that, Kerry, I will flip around, and this is Nana's sewing cupboard. Now, my sister will remember this sewing cupboard. It's getting a makeover. Had many layers of paint on it, and Mrs. Shed Talk was up giving this an undercoat just before. It's come up really well. It's taken a long time to get to where it is because we're sort of Mr. Shed Talk has worked on it on and off. It had lots of layers of paint and so on. The doors, there you go, the doors are undercoated. They're sitting on the tender. The forklift there, boilers in the background, and our view from over there. So the doors they're getting an undercoat. And probably get a light sanding before we put another coat on. Mr. Shed Talk's going to put some material in here, cloth material. That was sort of the thing back in the day. So it's been well looked after, and it's taken some time. We've added a little bit of stuff. We had some leftover stuff to go on top. No one's really going to see that once we put stuff on top. We've put a bit of beading around the top, and just to help set it off, make it look a little bit nicer, because it was a little bit cruddy up top. But anyway, back to our problem at hand. Righto. Let's get this up a bit like so. That's better. Righto. And so the problem with our oil can here is that this This is the plunger, or this is what the bit that picks up the oil and then push it as you lift it up. And this is inside the can, which has got oil, as you can see. So it's sitting in the oil, picks it up, and then it forces it up out the spout there. Right, just a simple action like that. Not a hell of a lot, but what you can see here is it's split. And it's not just split in one place, it's split all the way around. And that's mainly because of the way these are manufactured. These would have been mass-produced, punched out, you know, and over time. I don't know how old it is, don't know where it was made, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, what we're going to do, we're going to get some bronze. This is bronze. The hole in the bottom there is a bit too big, unfortunately. But this is going to be more than enough. So what I'll do is I'll take this apart right now on the stream, and they're quite easy to get apart. As you can see, that just comes out. There's an O-ring with a spring here, and out comes the ball, which acts as a valve, and as you can see, it gets a little cup full each time. That spring on there helps it return, and that's just soft soldered on. So that's an easy one. What we're going to do, we're going to grab the verniers, which are over here, and we're going to measure this hole here. So we need a hole in the bottom of 5 millimeters. So we need to get a couple of drills. Now, it's not going to matter. Well, I don't think it's going to matter. We don't have to have that round bottom like that. I could easily round that off, or we could leave it square. It doesn't matter. And it's 25 millimeters. There we go. Hang on. It's about 25 millimeters. You know, 1 inch. Take your pick. So let's get that going, and I'll turn the bench lathe cam, because we've got a couple of different views here. So we could have been looking at it from that view as well. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'll send, yep. Hello, Mr. Funk and Hungry. Becky, g'day everyone. I'm just catching up in the chat. I think, righto, so I'm just going to turn this around. There I am, hello. And we're going to go onto the lathe, and let's just, right, there we go. Let's get our bit of brass and chuck it in the chuck, lathe chuck, chucky chuck, chuck. And of course, it's almost the weekend. TGIF, as they say, tomorrow. Now let's just make sure we got ourselves enough room there to do the machining and parting. And I might have to, no, not quite. Not quite. Righto. Right, so we get it. So we got enough there now. Let's see how that runs. That runs pretty nicely. The tool we've got in there will do. And everything looks pretty good. Now, what's going to look better? Let's see which view is going to look better. That one? A bit like being at the optometrist and doing an eye test. Does that look better, or does that look better? I think we'll do the overhead view. Yeah, the overhead view looks fine. Righto, Becky, no worries, mate. Thanks for dropping in. Right, we're going to get going on the lathe. I'm just going to do everything freehand. So I'll take that one away, and I'll put that back over there, like so. And before we get going, let's, on the tailstock here, we're going to change over to the chuck so we can drill. We'll get our 5mm drill out of the drawer here. Put our chuck in. This is our chuck. It goes in the tailstock. You've seen me do this before. Got our centre drill. Oh, come on. Right, just a bit of oil. I haven't got that out. Right, that's better. Okay. So we're just going to face that. Oh, we're a little bit undersized. Just raise the tool up a little bit. There we go, that's better. And we're going to take a bit off there. Just do a quick measurement on the OD, because the outside diameter is 14.3 on that one. Let's get that out of the way. And this is 16.3. There's no reason why we can't leave it a little bit bigger. It's not going to affect anything. And in fact, I might just take those let's just check that for diameter. 16. Oh yeah, 16. Spot on. Righto. Let's go with that. Just doing this by hand. It doesn't need to. I probably should engage the auto feed. I might just come back and take a very, very light cut with the auto feed. 6 one, half a dozen to the other. Hello to Mum and Dad and my brother Peter, who are watching on the big screen, I believe, down at my brother's place. Righto. Oh, my bald head might be in the way here, but anyway. We'll just sort of round that off like so. I'll just run the file over it just to make it a bit more, very similar to the there we go. And now we'll put our hole in it. Do our centre drill first. Go over to our 5mm hole. There's already a hole in the other end, so I'm just going to go right through. Brass is a very nice non-ferrous metal to machine. However, it doesn't hurt that put a bit of lubrication on there. There we go, we're through. While we're going, we'll get our deburring tool and just put a nice little chamfer on there, take the burr off, like so. Now we're going to stop and flip that around. Righto. And we can just hold it like so. Let's go to the old camera. There is, go to the talking head. Oh, hello, Emma. Yeah, Emma, the thing. No, this is the thing that you dropped on the ground, Emma. Oh, hang on, wrong one. Your telescopic gauge, Emma. That's what we got. You were supposed to pick it up last time. Anyway, it's here again. So that's the little thing. Hey, Emma, what time are you planning to go live tomorrow night? Tomorrow morning, sorry. Righto, we've got the piece in the chuck. Here we go, like so. Hang on, we'll get that around. And we're going to machine most of that off because we only want about 1 inch long. And then we got to bore it out to make it like so. And yeah, it needs to be that deep. There you go. Right, let's get that out of the way. And where can we... Oh no. Right, so we're going to go for this angle this time. And let's see if I can... change the... can I change the camera angle? Settings. Yes, I can. That's the ultra wide. That's the back camera. That's a bit closer. There we go. Might get a bit of a glitch in the matrix there, but anyway. That's a bit closer. Righto, here we go. Right, what's... Oh, no. Okay, you might not make it. Oh, that's terrible. Right, you don't need the auto feed. Okay. Let's whip this down to size. So all I'm doing is just facing it off, getting it down to length. It's not worth keeping something like this, that little piece. Some people may think it's a waste, but it is what it is. Right, and if I could have had a different angle again, top view angle. We're almost there. We need a few, got about 2 to 3 mil to come off. Yeah, let's go here. Righto, so let's get the old spinny. Sorry, arm's in the way. Right, I'm going to go back over to the talking head, bench cam. Right, I'm going to go over to the bench cam because I'm going to take the spinny off, and you guys don't want to get dizzy. And then I can set this up here like so. You can see me doing it in real time. Right, so I'm going to screw that onto there like so. And then we'll change our angle. The angle of the dangle, as they say. There we go. does that look? That looks pretty darn good. There you go. Right. Okay, so we're going to flip back over to the talking head, which will give us that angle there. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's a little tight. Well, hopefully you do get there, Emma. And but if not, it'll be great to see any of the photos that come out. Right, hand in the way, move that. So we've got a couple more mil to come out. Then we just have to drill this out so that it will pick up the oil. Right, we'll just take a measurement of that. 1 mil to go. Let's get a nice chamfer on there. And we need to find our inside diameter of this tube, which is 13 mil. So that there, the inside diameter is 13. So now I go to my drawer again and let's find a 13 mil drill. I think I've got a 13 and a half. Yeah, I have 13 and a half. As the walls, of course I've got a 13 mil drill. It's in my drill box, you dilly bag. There it is there. Righto. Now, as we've already got a hole, what I've got to be careful of is how deep I go, because I need a little bit left in the bottom for the, and I'm just going to kill a mosquito, which I failed at doing. Got him, almost. You bugger. All right. Here we go. 13 mil drill. Just going to take it nice and slow. But because we've already got the hole in there, it's a pilot hole, it just makes it way easy to drill. And I'm going to stop, well, I should use my, I've got indications on here on, so let's go, where are we there? 30, 15, 20. Let's have a look at that. While it's running, I'll get the chamfering tool. And I just need a bit of sandpaper. So instead of ripping some off, I'll just get the whole thing. Right, we've got a nice radius there. And in fact, that is spot-o. That is spot on. I will not, it's not worth going any deeper than that because I'm almost punching through. And let's take that out and have a look. Yep. I'll just get my air duster and give it a... Righto. There we have one thingy bob cup. Righto, so flip that around back there like so. Right, let's change camera angles again. Nightbite, hello Nightbite. And bench cam, here we go, we're back on the bench cam. And Captain Brendan, g'day mate, thanks for being here. You're a new one in the chat. Where do we know you from? Thanks for being here. Appreciate the you jumping in and having a chat, but you're absolutely right. Oh, no. Okay, so we're back over here on the bench, and that little piece there that I just made on the lathe just drops in there perfectly, like so, and you can hear how solid that is. Just a little bit of a burr on the outside, so I just whip that on the on the buff. Now I'm going to have to get the oxy out and unsolder that, and I'm going to have to solder that back on, and it's just exactly in the middle there. So let's do that. Let's get that sorted. Take the soft jaws out and put that there like so. It doesn't matter where I put it. I'll get the oxy out. It's going to be easier. Now let's, righto. And can we see there? If not, I'll get the, oh, that's the board. I just about kicked that. I'll get the other camera set up, my other view. Let's get that back on the... In fact, I'll go like that. Get that the old jobby set up so we can get a nice closer shot. There we go. We can have two views of it. Right, oxy. Now the oxy I use is oxypropane. It's got a long enough lead and long enough hose on it to reach wherever I need to in the shed from where it is. And we may be moving a few things around coming up. Change is good as a holiday, so they say. And righto, so we'll get that going. We're only going to need a tiny little bit of heat to do this. Right, get our gas going. What I'd really like is one of those Jeweller's oxys. And even that's probably going to be a bit too much, so it's just soft solder. I'll just get a pair of pliers. There we go. And that took absolutely nothing. Right, so let's pick that up. There you go, there's the old bit. And then I'm going to go back to the talking head again so we get that close-up shot. Zakau, g'day, how are you? What are you going to put your fingerprint on? Oh, the button. Thanks, G, for that. Now, let's not lose the spring, because otherwise we'd be in a right spring. And let's go get some solder out of the box, out of the drawers. I've got that sitting over there. I shouldn't. It's got flux in it, so I should be right, but I'll just. Don't think I've got any baker's flux. Now, for those of you who don't, oh yes I do. Those of you who don't do any soldering, this is soft solder. It's a, but then there's this stuff called baker's flux, and it's basically a mild acid, so to speak, and it just helps to tin the area. So now let's get this set up so that it was like the old one. Let's get that cleaned off. Now, of course, this shaft had oil on it, so we're making sure that, let's get that off, making sure that's all clean. Now, that's the way it was, and I need to have that supported there. That's going to be too much, but we need something similar. How about the old piece? No, we need it like that. No, that's not big enough. And let's go into our magic drawer here and see what we can find. All these offcuts do come in handy. There we go. Oh, right. Now, getting this to sit exactly where I need it to. I think I might just grind a little flat on that. Right, okay. Now, all you armchair experts out there are saying, just put another piece of metal on top or something like that, whatever you're saying, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. All of you on your spinny chairs and shouting, do this, do this. Now, let's get this squared up. Now, when these were made, they were probably done in a jig or something like that. And that's sitting too high. That's a fraction too high. Flabbergasted. Here we go. Let's do that. Let's just close the jaws up a little bit. So we take the gap out. There we go. And then we'll make sure it's straight. Like so. Okay, happy days. Righto, this is the baker's flux. I've had it for ages. I'll just this is the roll of solder. It's very tiny. And I'll just trickle that on there. Famous last words. Probably because I'm not getting any of it on there at all, and we don't need a magnetic. Right. Now, the screwdriver did the trick, but she's magnetic. Now, if this is not right, if I don't get it in the right spot, I can always unsolder it and fix it up again. However, looking at this, that's roughly how it was. Let's go with that. Let's look at the chat just in case anyone's yelling at me, hey? A quick look at the chat. Painter's tape on it. See, told you. Yeah. All right, look, I've used a piece of steel, as you can see. This piece of steel, it's holding it in place. So we'll go with that. Right, we'll turn our gas on. That flame's a little bit too big. And we're going to turn him right down when we add the oxygen. There we go. That's a nice flame right there. It's a nice gentle flame. And the flux is bubbling a little bit. There we go. And make sure it's gone through on both sides, which it has. There we go. You got it? Plenty of solder on there. Right, boom, bang. Probably Peter's jumped through his caravan now with that loud bang because he had got his ear pods in. But anyway. Right, so now we're going to let that cool. While we're letting that cool, we're going to go and talk about something else. I'm going to put the... So, all right, Captain Brendan, where do we know you from? Be interesting to know. But thanks for joining in. Bench cam, no, live. Talking Head, we're on Talking Head. Let's change cameras here. What am I going to talk about? Hang on. Let's go over to live. Hang on, have I got that camera in here? Right, let's turn that off. Oh, that's bench cam. No, I don't want that. Let's just add in the other camera. Let's add a video device. And the Pro 2, there we are. Hey, look at that, there's two of me. Oh my God. Two of me. Why would you want two of me? Wrong one. Anyway, all right, let's just... Right, so look, you got two of me, too bad. Oh, Peter's actually using a Bluetooth speaker tonight. That's cool. Quick drink. Righto. On the weekend, on Sunday. Well, in the background, if those of you who watch Emma's CAD show, she didn't have a CAD show Tuesday night because of power issues. But the previous Tuesday night and other times, Emma has worked on doing a 3D print of this. This is a bronze casting for a valve guide for the steamroller. Now there's 4 of these pieces altogether. So a big thank you to Emma and the North Pine Trades Guild for doing the casting. North Pine Trades Guild is a great organisation. They do a lot of casting. Basically, it's a men's shed where they do casting, and they do a lot of stuff. They do a lot of castings, and a great bunch of ladies and gentlemen. And they put up with me and myself and others who come along and go, oh, I need this, and yeah. We do pay for things, and yeah, it's, a great bunch of people, and you get things like this. Now, there's 2 of these, and the valve rod goes in the middle here. It goes here, goes in there. These are obviously a very rough casting, which need to be cleaned up. As you can see, it's in 2 halves because that's what the original is, and I don't have the original. There's plenty to be machined off, and this is usually how a casting comes out of. Once the pattern's been made, there's sand on here because it's a sand casting. So you make the impression in the sand, and I should have cleaned these up. But yeah, this is another part of the steamroller, and they'll take their turn getting machined. So what we'll do is, how do you machine a half? Well, you put them together. These will be cleaned up, all the rough stuff taken off. A light cut will be taken off these two faces here, and then we'll put them together and we'll just soft solder them like that. And then I can machine the outside diameter and the inside diameter all at the same time, and of course this face. And there's a couple of holes that go in here which they bolt into place. So that's going to be an interesting journey. No, these are not required for a little bit, Peter, but they will be coming up in the not too distant future. So that was a great job done by Emma and the Trades Guild. The material used was really good quality, and we're not going to say where that came from. Nobody knows, but it's really good quality stuff. It was scrap material. And the other thing that the Trades Guild did do, which I should have grabbed, is, I'm just jumping into the car here, just grabbing something out of the car. Righto. Here's the logo here. Whoop. Righto. So on the YouTube channel, that's the Mark Shed Talk, and a couple of little flaws in the casting here, but nothing that can't be TIG welded up. This is aluminium. This is one of the last castings that was done on Sunday, and it turned out really good. Standalone video? Yeah, Pete. It'll be a standalone video. It definitely won't be like a shed night or anything like that. So in the future, I'm going to get a few more of these made up, and I'll be giving these away, or maybe sending them out to people or something like that. So maybe keep an eye out for those a little bit down the track. See how we go. I might have to get a few more made up, but these turned out really well. I haven't cleaned it up in any way, shape or form. Probably need to get in, maybe give it a light sandblast or something, because there is a little bit of stuff in there. It was a rush job, Emma said. Hey, I don't care. I really appreciate what you've done. Now, naturally, if you had a 3D router, you could do these. If I had a casting kit thing set up here at home, I could probably do them here. But yes, cup holder, yeah, you can use it as a cup coaster. Look at that. There you go. Good idea, Mrs. Shed Talk. It's a bit rough, but there again, you could turn it over and sit it on there. But the whole idea is, and that'd fill up, if it condensate. So anyway, keep an eye out for these. I'll let you know when we get a few more done. And yeah, I'll send these out to, I think I might maybe start with members, send them out to members. So we'll go back over to the old bench cam and see what's going on with our thingy bob here. Should be cool enough by now. Yeah, cool enough. And I'll give that a clean up on the buff. Righto, so we're back over here on the bench with, come on, I'm just fighting with cameras and stuff. It's a bit crooked, that is. Oh, come on, don't fall over. I love talking to inanimate objects. Right, let's get that out the way. And now it's the old crunch test. There we go. Let's fix this up a bit. Let's come that way. There we go. So that goes in there like that. That's nice and solid. We've got our little little washer that goes on here like so. Spring that goes on. And that comes out. We'll give that a clean up. That's just the lever. Let's give that a nice clean up. Just get any crud out. Now this is all galvanized and soldered together. Oh, bugger me! That's not going to go in. What didn't I allow for? Should have. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, righto. That's interesting. So our drill, even though it was 13, only came out at 12.5. And yeah, so that's just, I am going to have to bore that out. Right, so that's got to go back in the lathe and I've got to bore that out. For whatever reason, the 13 mil, let's check if it is a 13 mil drill. It's probably 12.5. And it is 12.5. Righto, there you go. Learn something new every day. I thought it was 13, it's 12.5. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're not going to unsolder that. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to pop this back in the lathe. I'll spin you around in a second. I'll put a boring bar in, and I should have enough length I can bore that out on the boring bar. Right, let's turn you guys back around again. Right, that's a bit of a hiccup on the old hiccup meter. Nothing we can't sort out. Righto, which boring bar are we going to use? The little one, that one, this one. Will that go in? And it looks like it's too big. I might have to take that off. Oh. Now that's an internal threading tool, but it can act as a boring bar. And there's plenty of length there. Let's see what we can get away with. Never fear. Where there's a will, there's a way. It's amazing when you've only got to take a little bit out. It's amazing what you can do with what you got. Right. The stick out on that is tremendous. And I need to straighten that up. Dropping spanners on the ground. Right, I've got to get me proper spanner. Aha, there it is. Right. The almighty King Dick spanner. All right. Let's get that straight. Let's see what we can get away with. Can we do the impossible? Oh, geez, we're going to be touch and go here. And we can only go... Oh, yeah, righto. Right, let's see what I can do here. You're going to see my noggin in the way. I'm going to put the auto feed on. slow that down a bit. Right, I'll stop it there. And I'm gonna, hey, hang on, I just gotta go grab some dogs. Hey, come here. Ah, no, come here. Come on. Come on. No. Right, you can go upstairs. Come on. Upstairs. Upstairs. Come on. Come on. Come on. Righto. Right, sorry for the break-in interruption, folks, but you get that on a live stream sometimes when the shed dogs want to go and bark at people and other things going by. Righto. Excuse me, sorry. Finish inside is not brilliant, but, well, it's pretty good actually. Yeah, Cody. Yeah, you know I do, man. Hang on. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Righto. So we're going, need to go out a bit more. Need to take a bit more out of there. This is working out good, but we're not going to get too greedy. Righto. I'm just going to keep stopping every so often. I can go a bit more. Just make sure that's right. A little bit more. And we're going to set that to 0. So down on the carriage, I know where I'm starting to cut. And I can also feel that I'm getting towards the bottom. I can go a bit further. Take another cut at that. What you can't see, and I can probably, is I've got plenty of clearance here. What I'll do, once I do this cut, I'll change over to the other camera and we'll get a close-up shot of what's going on, what I'm doing. Hopefully you get the idea. Yeah, that's perfect. That's great. Now let's see how we measure up. Righto, 13.1, and before we take it out of the lathe, we'll just make sure that this all fits in. Like so. I think I might leave it at that. It's a pretty damn good fit. If I go any bigger, because if we look at the old one, let's, yeah, spot on, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Right, let's change camera angles here. Clinton. That's probably not very nice, Clinton. Righto. Hang on, let's, two of me again. Let's turn off that and turn the browser, or no, hang on. That one, it's the other one I want. Whoop. Jeez, sorry about that, folks. Didn't want to see that. Let's not see that again. Righto. So here we are, up close, and you can see that that's spinning around, and like so. And there was plenty of clearance. So what I'm going to do is, even though that's a internal threading tool, I'm going to use that just to put a little chamfer on. So I'm going to set that up before I close the lid. In fact, I'm just going to take it out of gear and I'm just going to do it by hand. Sometimes little stuff like this, doing it by hand, is just more effective than running the machine. And let's just put a nice chamfer on there. And in fact, let's go a bit more. So as well as just, so all I'm doing is I've got it nice and close and I'm just palming it around like that and making an adjustment and just putting a nice chamfer on there, nice lead in. Just doing it by hand. And I can back the tool away. I can see that I've got a nice chamfer on there. We've got a bit of a burr, but I'll get a bit of emery cloth here. Tiny little bit. Right, let's get that out of the way and take that even further just by hand. There you go. Right, job done. Okay, let's go back over here. We'll keep this angle. We'll keep on the unsteady cam, like so. And I'll just give that I'll just get the air duster and give that a blowout, like so. Well, Peter, if it's a little bit tight, then I will just chop it back in the lathe and see how it goes. The other thing that these have, there's a tiny little ball. so the oil doesn't come back down and you lose the oil out of the stem. And that feels, there you go, that feels real good there. So we'll put the ball in the bottom, like so. We'll put our washer on the bottom, on that piece of rod, put our spring on, and we'll put it all together. We've got our handle. We'll put our handle through, like so. There we go. Happy days, look at that. Right, now, if my prediction is right, let's righto. I brought it up in this rag, so it'll take a few pumps and I can feel it already. Right. Wow. The difference is incredible. Seriously. The other thing is you can probably bend that handle a little bit. Let's just put some on the lathe. Give you an idea. So that's right there. So there's a drop. And we can use that to, okay, I'll put it on there. And I'll push, I think that, there we go. Yeah, look, that's working better. An oil can like this is the whole idea. It's only a small one to do small things, top up small areas. I might do some further improvements. Like I said, it's quite possible this handle here may have been bent over time. I could probably straighten that out a little bit to get more lift. Let's just take that out again. And you can see it's really only designed to go a short distance anyway. It's only going to get however much that is, which is, a few millilitres. So that's way better than what it was. And the oil can's getting a little bit on the low side too. So, but anyway, happy days, job done. That can go back to the steam roller now, back to the steam shed, and be a useful tool. Unfortunately, some of these, there are different types of oil cans around, and they all pump different volumes depending on the stroke that I just showed you. And if you have a longer stroke or even a bigger pot, you're going to get a bigger, when I say bigger pot, this thing here, if you can get more volume of oil in, well, you're going to get more volume of oil out of there in a single stroke. But that's definitely way better. That's perfect. There you go. And there you have it. Another job successfully completed on no worries, Mark. Well, hopefully it's going to be better. you know, it's one of those things. It's working way better. We could probably make a slight improvement by bending that that lever back a bit, you know, to make things better. But it is what it is. So anyway, I think I'll wrap it up at that. It's 8:45 here, my time. I've been going long enough. You guys are, you know, tuned in, and I appreciate you guys taking your time to be with me tonight. And let me just kill a mosquito if I can. You bastard. Buggers. Anyway, yeah, these are going to be a work in progress, and you know, let's see what happens. There's more coming up in the shed. There's more stuff happening around. Look, I work a full-time job. Those of you who don't know, I work a full-time job. I've got a yard to mow and all that sort of stuff, and other things to do around the house here. And yeah, small but great job. And you know, we do things in our spare time and when we can. Haven't got any videos in the works at the moment, but will be in time. Let's just go over here like this. There you go. And everything, pretty well everything you see that happens in the shed all happens out of here behind me. Bench lathe, milling machine, you know, all that sort of stuff. I've got a welder there as well, so I'm quite capable of doing everything. The boiler for the steamroller is over to my left. And in fact, if you didn't see it beforehand, let's take that out. And is it that one? No, wrong one. Oh, hello, we're having a hissy fit here. No, all right, doesn't want to play the game. There we go, here it is. There you go. For those of you who haven't seen it, this is the steamroller that we're currently restoring. It doesn't look like that at the moment. It's all pulled apart. This photo was taken way before I ever thought I'd, you know, ever thought I'd actually own a steamroller. And it's been an interesting journey. Come Easter this year, it'll be 8 years since we brought it home. So I think we're doing pretty well, considering that we built the shed in the meantime. I had time off that because I broke my ankle. Most of you guys know this sort of stuff, but anyway, it is what it is. So these things happen. But thanks everyone for watching. Let's hit the outro. We'll see you next week, same time, unless we're going to get rained out, you know, blown away or whatever else. But thanks for joining in. Appreciate you all being here. Look after yourselves. Take it easy, guys. Talk to you later. Bye for now. Whistle.